my name is Kay, and I have a 5-year-old daughter who is medically fragile and also autistic. She does not eat, so she gets all of her nutrition from a feeding tube. So we have to feed her about every 3 hours throughout the day to keep her alive. And it's been pretty stressful for us to deal with that. It's a full-time job for sure.
Very tired, very exhausted. It's bad enough to be in COVID, let alone have a special needs child in the middle of a situation like this. So she kept tugging at me. I think God was using her to pull me into the study so that I could get my tank refilled, because I was completely on empty from this quarantine and being home with my child and being stuck in the house and not able to escape.
I signed up for the Bible study to meet other parents that were going through the same thing. It was very nice to learn that it's okay to be angry, and I got a lot out of the Bible study, meeting other moms that were going through similar situations and didn't have that diagnosis, and it was nice to know that we weren't alone.
We're isolated, y'all. The pandemic plus having a child that has unique issues, we're going to feel lonely. It's going to happen. Even if we're married or not married, or we have some different situation or circumstance.
So going through this study kind of touched on some raw nerves and made me rethink things, remember things, and talking to these ladies who have young children. There was one person that had a 50-year-old son, and it was just a joy to watch him pop up on the screen during the study. He would always pop in and everybody would be like, Scotty. So it was nice to see someone 50 years old with Down syndrome. It kind of makes me see Cole's future a little bit, but it was nice to retouch those situations with those little ones and what those mamas are going through, just, with school issues and things like that. So the study has been a blessing for me.
Really appreciate the opportunity of you putting it on, and it really was perspective changing for me, and it was the first Bible study I've done like this, and I would recommend it to other people if you do it in the future.
I also like the variety of speakers that were in the group, because there's lots of different special needs and medical needs out there, and it was great to hear from other mamas who had totally different situations and some who had very similar situations, and kind of see how they dealt with their journey and their faith through the stressful times of day-to-day having a child with significant issues.
I was like, man, she is really honest. And I was not expecting that. And that made me feel so at ease and so relaxed to know that there's a real person in front of me. These are real women in our discussion groups that love God, but they're crazy busy and stressed out and overwhelmed. And how cool was it every week to come and not only hear from Tia and her, other people's examples from their child's lives, but also the women in our group. And I benefited so much just from peers, just from people talking.
It was much needed for me to get my bearings right and remember that God's in control and turn things over to Him.
The study was definitely a safe place to challenge God for me, to have that support team while we're going through some of these difficult thoughts about your faith and wondering, why are we in this situation? How do we get out of this situation? Or how do we move forward in this situation? So I really liked having a team of people supporting me and talking through with me and giving me their stories and their journey and their insight as far as things that they had been through, to help me better reflect and do some soul searching on myself.
It benefited me to see other people going through the same things, but going to God. Because we know the Lord and He's our foundation, we can still be real, but He will always come back to the truth. And that's the best thing that I learned from her.
So all in all, I think it was definitely a very worthwhile time spent for myself personally to go on this journey. And I definitely would look forward to signing up for another small group or another Bible study through Critically Loved, because they get me. They understand where I'm coming from.